You lived an entire life before the age of 3. You were born. You opened your eyes for the first time. You heard your mother's voice. You tasted food. You took your first steps. You said your first word. And you remember none of it. Not a single moment. Most people think the answer is simple. Your brain wasn't developed enough yet. You were too young. Case closed. But that's not actually what happened, because your baby brain wasn't failing to record your life. It was recording everything. The strange part is that those memories were later erased. Scientists know babies can form memories. In one famous experiment, researchers tied a ribbon from a baby's ankle to a mobile hanging above a crib. The babies quickly learned that kicking their leg made the mobile move. When researchers brought them back days later, many babies immediately started kicking again. They remembered. Even very young infants could learn, store information, and recall it. So if babies can create memories, why can't adults remember being babies? The answer begins with a small structure deep inside your brain called the hippocampus. The hippocampus is responsible for turning experiences into memories. It helps transform a moment into something you can replay later in your mind. A birthday, a conversation, a walk in the rain. But in infants, this system is still under construction. The connections between different memory systems are incomplete. Important parts of the memory network are still developing. A baby's brain can hold information for a short time, but it struggles to store those experiences in the long-term way that adult brains can. For years, scientists thought that was the entire explanation. Then they discovered something much stranger. Your baby brain may have been forgetting memories because it was growing too fast. During the first years of life, your brain produces new neurons at an incredible rate. This process is called neurogenesis. It helps build the neural networks that you'll use for the rest of your life. But every time new neurons are added, they can disrupt older connections. Imagine trying to renovate a house while people are still living inside it. New rooms are constantly being built. Old walls are constantly being moved. The structure keeps changing. Some neuroscientists believe something similar happened inside your brain. The same process that was building your mind may also have been destroying your earliest memories. Experiments with animals produced surprising results. When researchers increased the growth of new neurons, memories became harder to keep. When they reduced that growth, memories lasted longer. In other words, your earliest experiences may not have disappeared because they were never stored. They disappeared because your brain kept rebuilding itself. But there is another piece of the puzzle. To create autobiographical memories, the kind where you are the main character, you need a sense of self. You need to understand that you exist as an individual, that events are happening to you. Babies aren't born with that understanding. For much of early infancy, they experience the world without a fully developed sense of identity. One famous test demonstrates this. Researchers place a small mark on a baby's nose and then show the baby a mirror. Very young babies usually treat the reflection like another child. They don't realize they're looking at themselves. Later, something changes. They touch their own nose. They recognize that the person in the mirror is them. And interestingly, this shift happens around the same age that long-lasting personal memories begin to appear. Before that point, there may not have been a clear you to attach memories to. There was experience, there was learning, there was awareness, but there was no fully formed narrator turning those moments into a personal story. And then there is language. Language doesn't just help us describe memories, it helps organize them. Before you learned words, your experiences were mostly raw sensations, sounds, colors, textures, emotions. Without language, those experiences had no structure holding them together. Once children begin talking about events, their ability to remember them improves dramatically. Language gives memory a framework, a skeleton, something strong enough to hold experiences in place. Researchers have even found that the age of a person's earliest memory can vary across cultures. In cultures where storytelling and personal narratives are emphasized, people often remember events from an earlier age. In cultures where those conversations happen less frequently, first memories tend to appear later. The way we talk about experiences literally shapes what we remember. So why can't you remember being a baby? Because several things happened at the same time. Your memory systems were still developing. Your brain was rapidly rewiring. Your sense of self had not fully formed, and you didn't yet have language to organize your experiences. It wasn't one missing piece. It was all of them working together. Every person who has ever lived has experienced this same mystery. Every human carries a blank space where the earliest years of life should be. But maybe that's not a flaw. Maybe it's the cost of becoming who you are. Your brain wasn't failing. It was building itself. It was laying the foundation for every thought, memory, and experience that would come later. And in the process, it sacrificed the memories that came first. The strange truth is that you did live those years. You just can't visit them anymore. Because the brain that experienced them no longer exists. It became you.